Chapter 23. Jinx. Balthazar was correct. Over the next 6 months, Jamil grew a full meter in size. His legs are now as big as tree trunks, and he's as strong as an ox. Jamil is definitely not a human any longer. Jamil thought, as Balthazar said on the night of his birth, "I am better." Balthazar doesn't treat Jamil like the others. He treats him as an equal. They are practically inseparable, and during their time together, he has taught him everything he knows. He is truly my brother. One day, a couple of months ago, when Jamil was questioning everything, Balthazar explained, "We are a race of powerful beings. People have called our kind monsters or demons, but the label I prefer is Jinn. Some Jinn are like the others, mindless idiots who will do anything we tell them to do. But you and I are different and capable of so much more. Why were they born like that? And we were born this way. Some say it is because our former human bodies were more important or special in some way. But I don't know. Maybe it's just dumb luck. It doesn't really matter, though. It just simply is. Although we, and some others like us, have the power to do almost anything we want, we only can if our masters permit it. We work for and follow 3 powerful gods, Gaia, Phobtor, and Thanatos. Thanatos is the most powerful Jinni in this world or any other." That was the first time Jamil heard the name Thanatos, but since then, Balthazar has mentioned his name at least once every single night. Balthazar and Jamil would often stray from the others when they would go out at night. They walked around wounding or killing without prejudice. Sometimes, Jamil ended it fast with a vicious mauling, but other times, he would simply leave them wounded so they would suffer before dying. This brought him indescribable satisfaction. He craved misery, and he had an unquenchable thirst. Then Balthazar taught him how to just gently scratch his victims. This left them alive, and many times they didn't even know they had just been given a death sentence. Venom would seep into their victims' veins, and within a couple of weeks, they would succumb to sickness. This technique caused even more misery, which in turn brought Jamil even more fulfillment. One night, as the two were working their way through a small village, Jamil was blindsided by a farmer with a pitchfork. He managed to stab the monster in the back. The blow knocked him down and left him gasping for breath. The man was half his size, but very strong, and he had the upper hand as Jamil lay there dazed and gasping. He tried scrambling to get away, but couldn't move as the man recoiled and had Jamil dead to rights. In just seconds, the creature would have been impaled, if not for Balthazar, who had turned full wolf. He came flying through the air, knocking the man down. Balthazar made short work of the human farmer. He savored his kill for a few moments before he tended to his injured friend. He told Jamil, "You're going to be all right." He then carried him all the way back to the cave and stayed with him, never leaving his side and never leaving the cave, for a whole week while Jamil recovered from his injuries. It was during this time that Jamil vowed to Balthazar, "I will always have your back, because I know you will always have mine." He grabbed Balthazar's hand in a firm grip. "We are brothers." Once Jamil fully recovered, they were back to their old ways, wreaking havoc like an unstoppable dynamic duo. This continued every night, until the night Balthazar excitedly announced, "Thanatos is coming. He wants to meet his troops. I will make sure he meets you." Jamil thanked him, because even though they were friends, Jamil was still just a private, and Balthazar was his captain. The next night, Balthazar and some of the other captains gathered the troops in preparation for the arrival of Thanatos. Balthazar did not lie or exaggerate in his description of Thanatos. Jamil is awestruck. He feels like an insignificant ant in comparison. He's a giant, Jamil thinks. He's truly a god. His thoughts are confirmed when Thanatos addresses the soldiers. Before he spoke, another werewolf stood up, introducing his master. "All praise Thanatos, the god of death." Even the crowd of night-walking killers shake at the sight of him. Thanatos speaks in a thunderous and intimidating voice. "I, Thanatos, god of death, along with Gaia, the god of chaos, and Phupter, the god of nightmares, have assembled all of you. We are creating the most powerful army in history. Together, we will conquer this world. Never again will we need to hide in the shadows. You are not alone. I have visited 100 camps just like this one, and Gaia and Phupter have visited hundreds more. We will soon be ready and begin our conquest." Thanatos looks out over the thousands gathered. He raises his massive arm and points. Looking around, Jamil suddenly realizes Thanatos is pointing directly at him. Jamil's heart is in his throat, and his knees feel weak. Thanatos orders, "You there, come to me." Is he addressing me? There is no mistaking it. Thanatos wants me. Oh, okay. Now I get it. Balthazar has set this up. Jamil somehow manages to get enough strength to move his legs that feel like cement blocks, and he walks to Thanatos. When he gets there, Jamil bows at the giant's feet. Looking down at Jamil, he tells him to rise and asks, "What's your name?" Swallowing hard before answering, Jamil struggles to form words. "Sir, Jamil, sir." "No," he shouts with so much force, it causes Jamil and the front few rows of Jinn to step backward. "Jamil is dead. Jamil is the name of a weak human. You, my son, are no longer a human, and you are definitely not weak. You are going to be a great warrior, and you will travel with me, and very soon all will know your true name." This is a great honor, and totally an unexpected one. The truth is, Balthazar did not orchestrate this encounter, and there is a look of total disbelief on the captain's face. Jamil looks back at his friend. Balthazar is his commanding officer and his brother. Jamil thinks, "I would not be here if not for Balthazar." Balthazar is known to be very smart, but he is also known to be very proud, and his pride makes him foolish. Unable to control himself, Balthazar steps forward and yells out, interrupting the god of death. "You're making a mistake. I am Balthazar, and I should be the one who comes with you. I am the great warrior you seek." Thanatos obviously did not like being interrupted or told he was making a mistake. He turns on Balthazar with a sudden and intense fury in his eyes. In an even more menacing voice, many times more severe than the one he had been just using, he bellows, "How dare you question me?" Balthazar immediately regrets his outburst and falls to his knees, begging for forgiveness and mercy. But Thanatos raises his hand and, with a snap of his fingers, summons a storm that instantly produces lightning that shoots in all directions. Thanatos reaches for the sky as lightning bolts come raining down upon him. Thanatos absorbs the energy until his eyes glow with light and fire. Seeing this, Balthazar gets up, turns, and starts to run. Thanatos points his muscular arm at the fleeing Jinni. Lightning shoots from his long fingers instantly, smiting Balthazar dead. Seeing his brother being shot down rocks Jamil to his core. He looks on in horror, but to his surprise, instead of grief, he feels an indescribable energy shoot through his body. It is like the hunger he's been feeling for months is now quenched. Then he realizes, what I need, what I most desire is death. Jamil now knows that it really doesn't matter whose death it is. My brother, protector, and even savior just died before my eyes, and I have never felt better. Jamil once again turns and looks at Thanatos. The sky's clear, and the mindless Jinn scream with delight. They are all worked up in a bloodthirsty frenzy. Thanatos holds up his arms to encourage the troops' bloodlust. Then he once again looks at Jamil. He questions, "Will you follow me?" Jamil nods. "Will you do my bidding?" "Yes, I will." "Balthazar was your friend?" Again he nods. "I was lucky to have known him. He was my brother," Jamil manages to say, hoping he will not anger the god who stands before him. "Well, that may be, but he wasn't very lucky to have known you." Thanatos says with a sinister smile, "I will not call you your former human name. I shall call you Jinx."